Hey, welcome to the Kris and Kristine show, and we have a surprise for you. Find out right after this.
And now,
Aye, I'm the captain now.
coming to you from the K2 studios in San Diego, California.
This sounds great. You sound amazing.
I always sound amazing.
It's the world famous
Everybody's hitting off like BFFs.
Kris and Kristine show.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? How are you doing today? Thank you so much for listening. And I am Kris, and Kristine is not here right now, but flying all the way over here from New York. I got John from the Basement Surge. How you doing today, buddy?
Good. Thank you very much for having me on.
Hey, man. Well, hey, how was your flight all over, by the way? Is first class okay with you, man?
Yeah, thanks very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sending the private jet.
That's how we do it. If someone ever tells me that maybe there's another way to have guests come in here or to do remote interviews, please let me know, because this is costing me a fortune. I'm wasting all my air miles, man.
It was very comfortable.
Great. So the reason why Kristine is not here today, and Kristine looks like John and John looks like Kristine, is because Kristine is actually out of town doing a major wedding up in the LA area, and then she's driving back home, their hometown in near Central Valley to be with her family. And then she has another consulting gig on the way up or the way back. I forget her timeline, but basically she's gone all weekend long. So now I got John here with me. So John, you are from Brooklyn, New York, right?
Yes, I am.
Have you lived there your entire life?
Yeah, I have. I was born and raised here, but I've lived various different places. But I'm here. I'm back over here again. Yeah.
What is it you love about Brooklyn? Is it the weather, the people, the bagels, maybe?
It's the food. Yeah, definitely the food. Like no other part of this country makes a good slice of pizza or even Chinese food. Like it's just so good.
Chinese
so
food.
good.
I thought, okay, what's good about your Chinese food? I mean, Panda Express is like the best, right? I mean, come on now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I always call Panda Express like the McDonald's of Chinese food.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, over here we have like really authentic Chinese food. Last week I just took my daughters to have like really authentic Shanghai food, and it was out of this world.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the difference between Shanghai food and like regular Chinese food?
Well, it's like the Chinese food that we're so used to eating, like the fried rice and, spare ribs and, General Tso's chicken, all that is kind of Americanized, So when you go to a place that serves like Shanghai food, and usually it's the Chinese food places that have like the ducks hanging in the windows.
What's animal?
Yeah.
Peanuts like all over that, right?
Yeah. So, it's really authentic Chinese food. Like it's what they actually eat in China. It's not the Americanized stuff.
What a trip. Now you said pizza. What is your favorite kind of pizza? Do you guys, okay, before I answer that question, like if somebody orders like pineapple on a pizza, what are your thoughts?
No. Like if you mention that again, I'm going to leave.
What? Come on, man. I just took it out of the oven. It's pineapple and Canadian bacon. Come on. It's Hawaiian style.
No.
It doesn't exist in your world, huh?
No, we don't put pineapples on pizza here. Any neighborhood pizzeria, you're never going to find that on the menu. The only place you will find it on the menu is on like Domino's or something.
Oh, really? And then even the guys working there are like, come on, they probably piss in it or something, or shit it or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, forget it.
You just don't do it.
But I heard the bagels are really good out there. Is it because you guys have different water or something?
Mm-hmm.
What's different about
definitely because of the water.
But what's different about the water? Water's water. I mean, you're gonna run through a filter anyways, right?
I mean, do you? I don't have to.
No, I meant like at the plant before it gets to your house. I'm sure it's not from like the creek up the hill.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think New York has the cleanest tap water in the country. So
Get
you can literally
out of here.
Yeah. No. So you can literally drink it from the faucet, and we do. I do.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I think it's the fluoride. I think it's the amount of fluoride that they put in the water.
Okay, so basically you're saying is you should probably rinse your mouth out if you after you brush your teeth and just spit it into the bagel water, and you got you got good bagels. There you go, man.
See, like for instance, I used to live down in Florida, and Florida water you have to filter before you drink it. You either have to filter it or you have to boil it. It's terrible. And the bagels and the pizza were horrible down in Florida.
Hey, speaking of Florida, we were just in Florida this summer, and let me tell you, it was brutally hot. Yeah. Brutally. I mean, it was like so bad that I almost like fainted. It was like,
wow.
Because we went down to the Everglades to take one of those like, alligator, airboat tour things. Yeah. And of course, there's no shade or nothing. Of course, it's all humid. You're in the bright sun, and I didn't wear a hat or nothing. I'm like, because the temperature said 90 degrees. It gets 90 degrees.
I hope you put on sunscreen.
Nothing. And I'm like, dude. And then after we got out of that thing, and we're like walking around little trails and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta sit down. And I didn't know where I was because everything looked like a big blur to me. But it was miserably hot out there. And they, of course, it was the middle of July, which probably gets down to up to 100. I mean, it's 100% humidity. It feels like. Yeah. How did
it's like 105, 110.
Well, how did you survive that?
You stay inside.
And air conditioning is your friend, right?
Yeah, that's basically it. You go from air conditioner to air conditioner. Like you go from inside a building to inside a car to back into a building, and that's it.
What part of Florida were you at?
I was in a couple different places. I started off in Orlando. I lived there for a little while, and then I went to New Smyrna Beach, which is down by Daytona. So it was nice, and then Sanford. So you're right, it is very hot, and I really didn't stay outside much. I really didn't. I wasn't the type of person to go for hikes.
You weren't out there like wrangling gators?
No, I didn't see not one alligator.
Get out of here!
Yeah,
they're like everywhere. I mean. They make it sound like I heard stories where like if you're driving down the road, you might like run one over on your car or something. They're like in the middle of the highway or something.
I've never had that.
Oh, really?
I've never seen that. Yeah.
So what brought you down to Florida in the first place? Were you for work or school or both?
Yeah, no, it was for work. We had a family business that moved out to Florida from New York, and I went along, and it was a good time.
Awesome. What kind of business was it?
Background screening for corporate companies. Corporations. You
have to do that in Florida to do that? You can't do it from anywhere? It sounds like a job that can be done. No,
you can do that from anywhere. We just moved down to Florida for the tax breaks.
Oh, that makes sense. It's funny. I just saw something like last week because we're in the middle of a big heat wave. Well, we were in the middle of a major heat wave like a couple of weeks ago over here in California. And then they're shutting power off left and right because they can't. They're telling everybody to not charge their vehicles because first they tell you we got to get vehicles. You're required to get an electric vehicle. Now, by the way, don't charge it because we have no power for you. So we're kind of screwing you. And it's
I read something like that. Yeah,
it's like 100 something degrees. And then Florida they're hotter over there in Florida. Like summers are way hotter over there. You've been there. I've been there. Yet they've got power and California does not. So go figure. And I think it has something to do with those tax breaks, like you're saying. That's possibly, I mean, Florida's great. I just can't stand the heat and the humidity. It's
that's funny that you say Florida is hotter than California.
It is. I think hotter meaning probably like you require your air conditioning to be on more in Florida than you would in California. You know.
Well, you're right. It's probably about the humidity.
Because like I said, when I looked at the temperature gauge on my phone, I was like 90 degrees. I can handle that. But then it's like 100% humidity. You're like, nope, I'm done. It's a done deal. Hey, so John, I knew you're an artist because you did create the artwork for the K2 radio. Thank you so much. That thing looks fantastic. How did you do that, man? Do you have a special program you use, or how do you do that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I make all my logos and everything in Photoshop. That's it.
Wait,
just straight Photoshop.
The original Photoshop? Is there like another
original?
Is there like I thought like multiple? I thought they had like multiple versions of Photoshop, like the Photoshop, the Pro, Photoshop, blah blah blah, whatever.
No, I have Adobe Photoshop 2022.
Okay. Now, what can you do with a Photoshop? It's like just overlaying images and stuff. I find stuff very fascinating.
You can basically do anything with it graphically. You can make logos. You can, the way I made yours is I took like a royalty-free image of San Diego, and I just put text and designs and stuff on top of it. So it's all about building up layers.
It looks great, man. I love it. I think this shot was taken. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I think that's Ocean Beach. I don't know. I can't tell. But it might be. I'm hard to tell. But I think it looks great. You do great work. And your artwork looks great too. Your comic book stuff you do. How's that going, by the way? You doing comics still?
I took a little bit of a break from that. I had to go back to work doing a regular job.
And the horror on that.
Living the dream of being a comic book artist. The term struggling artist, that's pretty much where that comes from. So
yeah, I hear you, man. So I was hoping you'd make it all the way out here to Comic-Con this year to showcase all your stuff.
Yeah, that was the plan, but not anymore. Sorry.
Man. Well, there's maybe the next time or maybe later. You never know. So I know you live in Brooklyn. You have a family, a wife. How many kids you guys have?
4.
4 little Rugrats. Are they old, grown up, pretty small?
They're a mix. I have one that just turned 18, and then my smallest one is 3. She'll be 4 next month. Well,
the 18-year-old is old enough to babysit the young one, so you're set there. I mean, that's usually the way it works.
Yeah, we have my kids age from 18, 14, 7, and 3.
Wow. Well, check that out. That's a pretty big gap there. My kids are pretty close together in age. They're always playing around and messing around with each other and having a good time together and fighting with each other. Are they all girls, boys, or a mix?
3 girls, 1 boy.
Who was the oldest? Is the boy the youngest or the oldest?
The girl. No, it's one of the girls.
And
the boy, he's 6.
The boy, so he's like in the middle then.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it like wrangling all the kids up? Do you take them to school, or do you have like a bus system, or how's it work over there?
It's funny because during the pandemic, we were homeschooling the whole time. So this is really the first year that we're trying to get everybody to school all at once. So my wife, she started driving all the kids to school, and it just like everybody goes to different schools because they're all in different grades, and they all have to be there at the same time.
Oh, how do you do that? You got to do the early drop off, right?
Yeah, well, we have one kid that can get dropped off a little bit earlier, so we drop him off first, and then the 3-year-old, and then the 14-year-old. The 18-year-old, she graduated, so we don't have to worry about her.
Is she planning on going to college, or she got something going on, or?
No, she's going to work. She's got a job. She's looking forward to that, making money. Hopefully in a year or two, I'm trying to talk her into going to college.
But, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, my kids don't want to go to school either. They can't stand school. I mean, I remember when I was in school, I couldn't stand it either, but that was just me. I was always daydreaming off to bigger, brighter, shinier things than being in school. It was always hard for me, really. So,
me too.
So that's great. So, you mind sharing with everybody what you do for a living, or are you kind of not going to talk about that?
Yeah. Right now, I had to go back to working at the supermarket, so it's money. It pays the bills. It's good money, actually.
What's the company called? Do you mind sharing the name of the company? Because we don't have the stores out here. What is it called?
I work for C-Town over here in the neighborhood.
C-Town. Is it called C-Town, or C-Town's the town it's in? No,
C-Town's the actual name of the store.
Get out of here. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought you were going to say like Piggly Wiggly or something. What do you guys have about that?
No.
Do you guys even have Piggly Wigglies? I just hear about that. I don't know if it's a thing.
No, we don't have that here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have West Coast stores, and I think I don't know. Like, I mean, I go to Albertsons a lot, and there's Ralph's and Albertsons out here, and so I think what else there is. Vons. How many Vons? Do you guys have Vons out there?
No.
Okay,
no.
maybe it's a West Coast thing too. I don't know.
Yeah, the supermarket I work for, it's one of the biggest stores here in the neighborhood, and
Is it like Costco big?
No, not that big, but it's busy, it's well known, it's popular, so it's my days are busy.
And what part of the department of the whole store do you work at?
Well, I work in the deli.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you would like slice. Have you ever lost a finger or a tip of a finger?
No, thank God. Knock on wood.
Has that been ever? Have you ever heard of that happening?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
I've heard of people slicing the tip of their fingers off, and
Ooh, ouch.
the worst thing that I ever did to myself was I was opening up a bologna one time, and I was holding it in one hand, and I had a box cutter in the other hand, because you open up all the cold cuts with box cutters, and so I go to slice the bologna from top to bottom, and I wound up sliding off the bologna, and I cut my thumb from the tip of my thumb all the way down to my wrist, and it was pretty bad.
But you continue working, right? You served the guy the sandwich.
Yeah.
It had a little blood in it, but you're like, here you go. Here's your cold cuts, buddy. The blood's on the house.
Yeah. No, they threw out that whole log of bologna.
They did.
Yeah.
How much was that? Because those things are expensive, right? Those big old
those things, it's like $20-$30, per log, I want to say.
I thought it was more than that because when you slice it, the weight is like, because I will slice, I don't know what the price is out there, but I do like a pound of turkey, like thin sliced, and depending on the prices, it's usually like $13 just for my little pan.
No, for me, at my store, you get a pound of turkey for $5.99.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Is it the good stuff, the boar's head stuff?
No, that's the deli stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about the deli stuff, deli slice stuff. So the deli stuff, I get a slice of deli stuff, 1 pound, it's like $13.
Yeah, I guess. For my store, like the boar's head turkey, I think goes for like $10.99 a pound.
When it's on sale. Something maybe. No, have you always worked in the back there with doing the slicing, the deli stuff, or you've done anything else with the store?
Well, I mean, I started working in the deli when I was a kid. It was kind of like my first job when I was a little kid, and it's kind of been like a fallback job for me. When things get tough, and I need money quick, I just head back. I head to the local supermarket and I say, hey, hire me.
You hit the main streets of the grocery store.
yeah. And, so it's like, I can pretty much at this point run a deli if I wanted to,
Really?
So,
are they popular in New York? Like little deli, little sandwich shops?
All over the place.
Yeah. I hear a lot of those. Everybody tries to mimic New York, like New York pizza. There's always there's a place not that far from here called New York Pizza, kind of stuff. Yeah. And then of course, like, they got the pastrami sandwich deli places that try to mimic the New York style and things like that and everything. So, what is the most popular meat that people request at the deli counter for you?
Ham.
Ham?
Yeah.
Like a ham sandwich kind of ham? Like ham for that?
Yeah, just regular boar's head ham,
Not Reuben or what is it? Pastrami or anything like that?
Pastrami is a big one too. It's in the top 10. You got ham, you got salami, bologna, Swiss, pastrami, roast beef. Those are the big ones.
Are you allowed to snack while you're cutting the food? Like snack?
I am at this supermarket.
Really?
Because I've worked in previous delis before, where I'm not allowed to eat the food, and my family wasn't even allowed to shop in the supermarket.
They weren't allowed to shop in that. Why not?
Because I worked there, and they were afraid that the cashiers would give my family a discount because I worked there.
How dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they, man? Well,
yeah, but this place I work for, they're good. They're real nice guys. We can shop there. I can eat whatever I want. I get free lunches on my breaks.
That is amazing. Because I know
awesome.
that out here, I was telling my kids that if you're going to work in fast food, at least here on the West Coast, I would recommend working at In-N-Out Burger. You've heard of it. I don't know. It's really good. We went there for lunch. We always eat there on Saturday for the most part.
It's like McDonald's, right?
But way better. And the thing about the In-N-Out employees is that when you work there, they train you to do everything. Like you'll be working flipping the burgers and jump on the register. You'll doing the registry, jump on cleaning tables. Like these guys are. There's a bunch of these guys working there, and they're constantly like shifting around, doing whatever needs to be done. They just jump on it, and they're so super friendly too. And other than the fact that they pay like the most in like the fast food world, they also give every employee a free meal while they work. That's what I heard in the thing. And like the managers of these places make so much money. I mean, crazy amount of money. The manager of an In-N-Out Burger. I forget the number. This is the article I read was like probably a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. And even back then, they said they were making like over $100,000 as a manager.
I believe it.
You know, but that was back then. I only can imagine what it is today. So that's what I say. If I ever get down on my luck and I gotta work at a fast food place, I'm hitting up In-N-Out. I'm hitting them up, and I'm gonna say I'm only gonna work for you guys just for the free meal. I'm gonna tell them that because I love you guys that much.
I need to eat. Yeah,
that's what it is. You can pay me if you want to, but I'll take that free burger. You know, anytime. Right. And since you've never been out here, right? You've never been out to California, right?
No.
Oh man, you're missing out, man. Let me tell you.
I've heard so many times throughout my life about In-N-Out Burger that like I really want one.
Well, I think the thing about In-N-Out Burger, I mean, speaking of my favorite restaurant, is that like the menu is very simple. Like it's very basic. It's just like three things. It's like you want a cheeseburger, like you want like a cheeseburger, a fry, and you want a regular plain hamburger, and then it's got lettuce and onion and that kind of stuff. But and the patties are very thin, but they're small, but they're all the same. They claim everything's super fresh, like there's nothing frozen, everything's fresh, and the greatest. What? Sure, I seen it, man. They're all fresh. Don't downplay my restaurant, man.
But are they a sponsor?
Maybe I'm working on it. All right.
Then yes, they are they have the freshest burgers in the state of California
in the universe.
Yeah.
But they do have delivery trucks, and then the delivery drivers do come from like their nearest facility. I think it's an LA area somewhere, and they do have a big semi truck in the middle of the night. Will come down and unload all the stuff, like a freezer truck or whatever. But they're very simple menu. There's a few hidden items in the secret menu.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the secret menu, but it's not really secret because it's very everybody knows about it. I'd like to get my double animal style, which
what does that mean?
Well, basically, it's very popular. Well, basically, it's a double burger, which is 2 meat, 2 patty. They put pickles on it. They actually infuse mustard into the patties while they cook it, and then they add extra spread, and they use a diced grilled onion spread they put on top of it, with lettuce, tomato. And
see, I got two problems with that.
What's that?
Okay, the pickles and the mustard.
Well, you don't have to order that way. That's the way animal style comes. You can get other styles. You can get, the plain style is just, regular onions, lettuce, tomato, spread and cheese.
Yeah. I don't know what it was because when I first moved to Florida, me and my dad, we went to Wendy's and they put mustard on the hamburger.
Yeah, they do.
And I was like, what is happening? What is this? Like, this is disgusting. And I found out that later on that mustard on burgers is like a regional thing. It depends where you are in the United States that they'll put mustard on the burger.
Yeah, a lot of places go the other direction. They'll go heavy mayonnaise. I can't stand mayonnaise. Like heavy mayonnaise on a thing. You guys?
That's what they do here.
Yeah. Do you guys have Jack in the Box out there? I don't think you do. Do you?
No,
it's I think it's the first Jack in the Box was actually founded and created in San Diego. In fact, the company headquarters is in San Diego, the Jack in the Box headquarters. But they were known. I know that they would like constantly like smother the mayonnaise like all over your cheeseburger, to death. And some people love it, whatever. I mean, I'm not a huge fan like that. So, John, what do you like to do in your spare time other than comic book making and doing your? Do you like watch movies or anything like that? Are you a big movie guy?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I like a lot of movies. I like dramas. I like action movies. Karate flicks, stuff like that.
Now, are you one that has to go see the latest like Marvel movie that comes out? Like, take the whole family to the local theaters, or one by you can go to a lot?
Now, Chris, let me explain something to you. I have 4 kids. Okay, if I bring them to the movie theater, first of all, it's going to cost me a fortune.
I know. You bust out the credit card. You get the
right.
You got to get approved for a loan.
Yeah. And second of all, if I'm going to go to the movies to see a movie, I want to actually sit and watch and enjoy the movie, and I don't want to hear any kids. So
I know it's brutal, and they're kicking seats and they're climbing, they get bored and they're frustrated. You know,
Yeah.
I've taken the kids to the movies a few times, and lately I think because they're a little older now, and I try to find movies they might be interested in. I take them to see those kind of things, but every once in a while, the kids do start to get kind of fidgety, and they are just like, you know, they're kind of like, especially the slow scenes sometimes, they're like,
Right.
you know, kicking around and getting up. And I had like my other son, my kids have phones now. All our kids have phones. Your kids have phones, by the way, because our kids have phones.
my oldest do.
So when you see them get their phone out in the middle of a theater, because you see the glow, you're like, you spot that glow like a mile away in the movie theater. You're like, what are you doing? You know, and he's like checking, I don't know. And they start getting on TikTok or something. Like, come on, you're going to watch TikTok while we're watching the movie?
We're at the movies.
Right. I think kids these days, it's hard for them to really sit still. So what are like, so you guys watch any TV shows you guys are interested in your wife sit and watch together as a thing you guys do?
I mean, we try, you know, we've had our series on Netflix, you know, that we're on and off again, or, you know, we start watching something new and then we just stop. You know, it's hard for us to actually sit down and watch something. You know, we don't really get the time to sit down and concentrate on things.
Yeah, we're kind of the same way too. I mean, last movie I went to, I think I took my parents and my kids to see the Top Gun movie in the theater, the new one. Did you see that one?
Yeah, me and my wife went to go see that. That was great.
Yeah, you know, and I'm like, oh, look, there's San Diego. Oh, look, check that out. You know, it's like kind of like that kind of, you know, when the kids saw that on the screen, like, what? Really? No way. Look, there's our house.
Yeah, right.
No, not quite the same, you know, and stuff. But I love going to the movies when I can. I know that the theater out here, they were going to do, they still do this thing. It was with, what company was it with? I think it was with Regal. They had this monthly pass. I think it was like $30 a month, unlimited, anything you want, like to see the movie. Like, but unless you have time for that, like, I don't want to spend $30. And if you bought one for everybody, like for everybody in your family, everybody in my family, it does get expensive. It adds up quick. And they're like, how often do we use that? You know, we go to the movie maybe twice a year, 3 times a year, you know? Yeah. So, but I do love the movies. And when I did live at the old house, it was close to a theater. It was close to the main mall. So it wasn't that far away. So we could like literally walk there if we wanted to. And so we'd go, you know, like every weekend, you know. Sometimes I'd go before work. I'd watch a movie before I had to go to work. In the afternoon, I'd go check a movie out. So
for me, the movies, it has to be worth it. Like the movie itself has to be worth it. You know, like I'm not just going to go see any comedy or something like that.
But if you had that monthly pass where it's unlimited anything, you probably would see those random whatever movies if you had time.
I mean, I guess I would have to get my money's worth for the pass. You know?
100%. 100%, you know. Like you just go see like some rom-com you would never even see in a million years. Just go see that.
Yeah.
You know, and or you could do. I've done this to myself, not on purpose, but you can go there and take a nap in the movie theater.
I guess you could do that.
Hey, I'm gonna go take a nap for like 2 hours. go sit in a theater and just like snooze until the movie's up, and then the custodian's like pushing the broom at your feet. Like, hey, buddy, you gonna wake up and get out of here?
Like, just put on like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and I'll just fall asleep. So.
There you go. So is your wife big, because Kristine's like really into like Lifetime movies and all that kind of phony baloney shows where like the guy meets the girl, they call it the cute meet, and then they're like somehow totally strangers. And first they hate each other, and then they like all of a sudden they're like dating the next scene, like all around each other, like every scene they're together, cutting down Christmas trees in the woods or something. I don't know. Is your wife into those things too? Because Kristine's into that stuff.
My wife is totally into those Hallmark movies. You know, it's she loves, but it's always the same stories. You know, like boy meets girl, girl hates boy. You know, they eventually get together and live happily ever after. You know,
but they never kiss. Kristine says they never kiss. It's always like super G-rated. They never kiss or anything like that. Or maybe they kiss, but that's it. There's no staying over. There's no waking up the next day. There's no like heavy drinking. Like I don't think there's any drinking at all, to tell you the truth.
There's no regrets. You know,
right? The only thing I regret is like, should I leave? To fly for this job, I got a new job in New York, but the guy I'm interested in. He lives here in California. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I stay with my love, my new love. I just met him yesterday, but I love him. He's the greatest. Or I take his new job offer. And then she's like he leaves and or she leaves or he thinks she leaves. And the guy's all down on his luck talking to his dad. Like, I don't know. She was the one. I love her. And then the next scene, she walks around the corner. I changed my mind. And they hug into a quick embrace. That's probably every one of those movies.
Yeah. Or he goes to the airport to stop her from getting on the plane. Kind of thing,
I know. And he's like, I was a fool. It was, I'm so sorry.
I can't take those movies. For me, there has to be explosions. There has to be some guns.
What about their heart? What about their hearts exploding when they find out they're not who they say they are?
Yeah, well, that might be worth it. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. So, hey, John, we're going to be right back. But before we get there, we're going to actually play a couple promos. But you have a new podcast project that you are working on, and we're going to hear all about that right after this.
If you love music and podcasting, now you can have both. Introducing the brand new K2 radio station. Available 24/7 on the Live 365 app for free.
Specializing in rock and alternative music, we're talking bands like Coldplay, Nirvana, Muse, Imagine Dragons, and yes, even the Rolling Stones. They have all stopped by to drop off songs, and we even have brand new popular tracks added every single day.
Also on the free K2 radio station, we are including podcasting. Get the best of both worlds. Download the free Live 365 app or listen online at live365.com and type in K2 Radio.
Let's go. Turn up the volume. From the basement of the Empire State, this is the Basement Surge.
3, 2, 1.
Man, that song gives me chills.
Does it now?
Gets me so hyped. It gets me hyped, man.
So what is the Basement Surge?
Dude, the Basement Surge was, I started that with a buddy of mine, Frank, back in 2020. And, it was just basically me and him hanging out, shooting the breeze and talking about old times here in Brooklyn, talking about our favorite video games and movies and, dad stuff and just stuff we like to do, and it was a general discussion podcast that basically we just spoke about anything we wanted, anything that interested us. And then in March of this year, we kind of took a hiatus. We took a break because basically I had to go back to work. So after I went back to work, my schedule, I work almost 11-hour days now. And you've seen my schedule. And,
yeah,
it's a lot of work and I'm never really home anymore to actually podcast. But now I'm kind of I'm getting into my groove and I'm finding a little bit more time and I'm getting back into Surge, which I am super excited for.
Fantastic. Are you going to have Frank on with you and stuff, or how's that going to work out?
Yeah, well, there will be some changes. Frank is not a permanent co-host anymore. He will be on the show. That's a fact. I mean, it's his baby too, in a sense, so, but the only reason that he won't be a permanent co-host anymore is because of my schedule, because I work such long days and I don't get home until late at night. And, honestly, he can't come over that late at night to record because number one, he's got a baby, and number two, he's got work the next day.
Right. So do you guys live close by, or how far is it from you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's like a 10-minute walk from me.
Okay, so it can be done in the same evening. It's not like, hey, I got to schedule a drive or whatever and all that.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But it's all in the sense that, listen, you got to be hyped, you got to be pumped, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night.
And you're winding down at that point. So when you guys were doing the show together, at what point in the day were you guys recording?
That was earlier, that was basically early afternoon, early evening kind of, recording sessions. And, it was easier for me back then, but now not so much.
Yeah, getting time to do it, and especially since your show is more like a video podcast, vodcast. What do you call it? A vodcast?
Vodcast, yeah, it's a vodcast.
Vodcast. Is that a new term? I never really heard that before.
I like to think that I coined that phrase, but other people have used it. It's a vodcast. It's a video podcast, that you put up on YouTube and all these other video platforms.
Are you guys doing multi-camera angles or just one camera shot?
Yeah, I have multicams.
So you can click from one cam to the next, like one on you, one on him, back and forth?
Yeah, so, it's like I have the Stream Deck on the desk, and I have quick action buttons on the Stream Deck to switch between cameras. And so it's very intuitive. It's very, techie, the setup that we have here.
Look at you. So now with all that setup you have, because I've seen your place, I've seen all your gizmos and gadgets in your mission control you have over there. Do you have any experience with I don't know, film production or radio production or technical stuff like that?
Absolutely zero.
What? Get out of here. How'd you figure all that stuff out? Because it looks like a film studio or a production studio in your basement.
It is because see, this is when I do something like I'm sorry, I don't know if we can curse on this show, but I don't
Absolutely
do anything half-assed.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. But yeah. So you do everything. So you kind of want to go full in. So you don't.
I go full into it, and it's something that I picked up in 2020 where I was like, hey Frank, let's start a podcast. And I just dove right into the technology, and I learned everything there was to know about how to create really good sound, have really good video. I mean, if you look back at the first 2 or 3 seasons of the Basement Surge, the camera quality isn't really there because I was using a webcam because, honestly, you use what you got.
So what's the camera now? It's not a webcam?
No, I have the Sony A something.
So it's an actual camera then, like a real camera.
Yeah, it's a DSLR, and it's legit. Camera connected through Cam Link and all that. So
did you just all of a sudden just dump tons of money into making your whole basement a studio at one shot, or did you slowly purchase all this stuff?
No, it was piece by piece. Definitely piece by piece.
Okay.
I have a stand-up desk here that I'm working on, which I bought at one time, and then I bought new monitors. Like you've seen my setup. I have 3 monitors here on the table, and one of the monitors is a TV. It's literally a television.
There's a TV in this room, but I actually hooked it up for the computer because I have that. I think Apple does like a sidecar. They do this kind of thing where you can stream thing to it. And I played with that, and I was like, I don't really care because it's up high, and like a bar would have a TV up high, like in the little corner, you know, it's like that. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm down here, so it's kind of a weird spot to really look at that. I try to play with it a little bit when Kristine and I were here setting things up, but I'm like, whatever. Well, you have an amazing place. Are you planning to maybe bring in guests in there to do like a full on like interview session live?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely set up for that. I have a what I call the podcasting table, another table behind me, where it's more of the traditional podcasting setup that people are used to seeing on YouTube, where, like the camera at the end of the table looking up the table at the 2 people talking kind of thing.
What about you said you can do multiple camera shots, so you can do like where it's Frank talking, or say your guest talking, and then you talking, and it kind of goes back and forth. Like those seem a little more professional than just like I like to call it like the Zoom show,
Yeah, right. I have 3 cameras that I have set up here. I have the Sony DSLR, I have a basic webcam, and then I have the GoPro. So I have 3 different styles.
Which GoPro
cameras.
do you have? Now, speaking my love language, which one do you got?
I don't even know.
Okay, well, but you have hooked up to your computer?
No, it records separately on its own card.
Oh.
It's one of the older ones.
So you do that, and then you mix it all together. It's got to take a lot of work. How long does it take you to do all that?
A long time.
You ever thought maybe hiring a crew to do it for you?
Well, yeah, I would, but Surge at this point right now isn't making any money. So, it's hard for me to afford that. But I'm hoping in the future, because right now I am currently looking for sponsorships and ad space for Surge. So if you are interested, email me at thebasementsurge.com, thebasementsurge@outlook.com.
There you go. Fantastic, buddy. This has been great, man. So your podcasting, you started roughly at the same time we started, I think, here around 2019, 2020, somewhere around then, right?
Yeah, February 2020.
Look at that. You and everybody else started in February. It seems like 2020, like a big surge, literally, in the part of the pun, of podcasts that really emerged. And a lot of those ones, sad to say, a lot of them I think have died off by now.
Yeah.
Which is funny that I did some research for my other show, Podcastic Audio. I did some research, and it turns out there was like 4 million podcasts, actually indexed. But of those 4 million, only I think it's like 400,000 released an episode in the last 90 days.
Yeah, a lot of podcasts suffer from pod fade.
Yeah, it happened. So you almost went down under pod fading, but now you're back.
Yes, I refuse to succumb to pod fade. Yeah.
So what are your plans for the future for the show? You got any special guests lined up or any segments or anything?
Well, I am bringing back a lot of old friends that used to come on the Surge to hang out with us. I'm bringing back a bunch of them. I'm also scheduling a bunch of new people on. Hopefully, I get you on. I want you on.
Yeah, I told
Kristine,
you. Talk to my agent. My agent. I have to go through my agent first. They got to get their 10%.
Yeah. I want that 10%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got new people coming on. Yeah.
Yeah, I got new people coming on. I'm going to be doing live shows on all the different socials, and I got new segments for the show, which I'm super excited about because one of the segments it's called Around the Dinner Table, and it's basically just me and my wife talking about all the funny antics that happen around our dinner table with the kids, and how I handle being a father.
Are you like recording all this like with a camera, or are you just gonna? What are you gonna do? You're just gonna write it all down and say it in the thing?
No, I mean, my wife and I we sat down. We recorded a whole thing. We have segments and
nice.
Stuff.
So you're bringing her in. Is this her first time being on the podcast?
No. She's been a huge part of Surge since the beginning. And she's also tried her hand at her own show too. So, she's done that. She loves podcasting.
Does she now? So her other show, is she still doing it, or is she just kind of like it faded out?
No, she stopped doing it a while ago. So, it was hard for her to find the time to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's with Kristine. She's not here right now. So here we are doing this. And I know it's all about timing. So truth be told, a lot of our guests that come in here, we don't actually it's not all done in one take. It's not done the same day we record the episode. It's all done beforehand. And then we put it together. Oh, the magic of podcasting. You find out more at Podcastic Audio. So I'll tell you all about that. But so I know you do a lot of things like streaming live. Are you still going to do that where you're like recording and streaming at the same time?
Recording and streaming at the same time? No. The episodes that I'm going to be putting out for the podcast are going to be recorded audio and video, but they will be released weekly on Mondays. Okay.
You're going to stick to that Monday schedule?
Yeah, stick it to the Monday schedule. And then I'll do live shows sporadically during the week, pump up some news, for the Surge. Try to get people interested.
You say you're looking for sponsors or ads. Who would you be after? If you could pick and choose any sponsor for your show, what would it be?
Oh, man. I don't know. Podcast related? Or
I was going to say maybe Boar's Head for your...
You know what? That's a great idea. I will be emailing Boar's Head after this.
Yeah. I mean, if you might as well see, or even the store you work at. Are you allowed to even talk about that? Or I don't know how that works,
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could give it a shot. I'm looking for local companies here in Brooklyn, here in New York, primarily only because, we are based in Brooklyn. But I am open to anybody in the United States. So, it doesn't really matter. But just know that if you are based in Brooklyn, you will be getting a severe discount on the price.
What?
So, yeah.
We'll check.
I give discounts to companies based in Brooklyn.
So you think like maybe a local pizza shop or a bagel shop or something like that, and things like that.
Like I have an Italian food specialty store that's like right around the corner from the studio, and it's called Pastosa.
Pastosa.
And they sell the best Italian specialty foods like pasta, mozzarella, all these different cold cuts. It's the best food in the neighborhood, and I would love to get them as a sponsor of the show.
Oh, that's great. We tried, like I emailed a couple of different places to get sponsorships for the show. One actually got back to me and they gave me their, what do you call it? I guess their PR department or their marketing department. I sent them an email, but I got nothing back. It was like crickets. So I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm not very good. I know you're very good at all your marketing and all of your website stuff. Like I'm horrible at that stuff, figuring this stuff out.
I try.
You're good though. Like all of your stuff looks great. Like you sent me yesterday. You sent me your what is it? Your marketing material.
Media kit.
Media kit. Right. A media kit. What's a media kit? I'm like, I have to Google that up. What's a media kit? You look at that thing up, and you sent it to me. And like, oh, it looks all great. Has all of your information, like all of your show stats, like all the countries I've been in. And now, is your media host provider giving you the information? You just copy it into a thing.
Yeah, that's the host for the podcast that gives me all that information.
What a trip! Check
I
all
use
that.
Buzzsprout.
Oh, Buzzsprout. Did they give out good Buzz haircuts too? Whatever that Buzzsprout.
Yeah,
Buzzsprout, man. Well, that's fantastic. What I was going to say is that I love looking at the podcasting stats. Remember, like in the early days of this show, we were like super excited to see a new country pop in there. What is the most obscure country that you have seen your show be played in?
South Korea.
Really? South Korea, huh? Yeah, I think we've been there. I don't remember. Every week it's something new. Kristine was doing this thing for a while where she had like this like map. I don't know where it is. It was like
I had that. I had a map up on the wall, and I had pins in every country that we would listen to.
This map, it was kind of like that. Even what it did was it gets you scratched off with a coin and had color underneath it.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about? It was like that kind of deal. And she's like scratching all the different countries for a while. I don't know where the map went to. We moved. I don't know where it is, but she busts the thing out in all these countries. I'm trying to keep up with all the stats, but our provider, I think, only lists like if you click all stats, it only shows 50. So it'll show the top 50, the top 50 of countries or top 50 whatever. But I know we're more than 50 countries, so I don't know how to. You have to go back and figure out the weeklies and so on and so forth. That's so much data to dig in to figure that stuff out. But I know we've been in like pretty much every country, is listening right now. And it's about 5 million listeners. So say hello to all of them, Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, man. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, your wife's listening. Calm down now. Well, John, this has been so fantastic having you on over here on the Kris and Kristine Show podcast, So where can everybody find about you and your new podcast and all your wonderful stuff, man?
Thank you very much, Chris, for having me on, first of all. All right. You guys can find everything about me and The Basement Surge over on thebasementsurge.com. Everything you need to know about the podcast, about the show, about me, is up on that website, thebasementsurge.com. You can also reach out to me at thebasementsurge at outlook.com. And new episodes premiere October 3rd. So keep an ear out.
Fantastic, buddy. Well, John, you have yourself a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you later, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.